Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where we currently need to be consolidating our holdings here. So we need to stop any attacks that are ongoing here. We need to not be attacking at this time. So I believe we have people attacking over here. You can stop that. And do we have any other attacks ongoing at this moment? No, we do not. So there's a lack of supply out over here for sure. And I definitely do want to get to work on perhaps building land forts everywhere over here. So getting land forts put in getting land forts put in all of these locations. Man, it is very wanting to select this infantry division instead of building the land forts. I don't know why it wants to do that, but it shouldn't. Okay, there we go. So we're going to prioritize the land forts. We're going to prioritize these naval bases. Beyond that, we don't really care too much. Although repairing infrastructure and railroads over here might not be the worst idea. Yeah, let's move up this land fort repair. That's okay. So we need to try to hold this position. I don't think bringing fresh troops in would make a lot of sense here since we have a supply shortage in this area. What we can try to do is just try to build land forts and hold them off. We already have multiple land forts constructed. Where is this? Okay, this is here. We have multiple land forts constructed there. We're going to get more of those completed, but we can see that some of these are not building due to ongoing attacks, and that is to be expected. Now, we have these unassigned divisions right now. Where is this division? Is this a real division? No, it is not. Okay, so that's going to go in here. This division is also going to go in there. That'll be fine. And we have a new trait in our aircraft manufacturer that we can grab. That'll be naval aircraft production, looks like. Sure, and that'll actually finish off our general aircraft manufacturer. Sounds excellent. We have a couple of research slots available here, and we could actually grab Marines. It might be useful to have some of those at some point. And we might also want to start working on, well, additional naval research, obviously. So like the 1936 carrier hull. That'll be fine. We'll get going on that, but our primary goal right now is to consolidate this position. Absolutely, that's a very high priority. We also may want to begin another naval base construction here. This location is not able to be, at least right now, stopped in terms of its construction. I'm also thinking about building a railroad like that. So something along those lines. We can max out this rail connection. This supply hub is not connected, and I think that's because there's no excess supply in this naval base. So we can see that we're demanding 20.5 supplies, and that we are currently receiving 8 supplies down here. That obviously requires work. So we're going to get to work on that. That's this naval base here. We're going to have that finished in under a month, so we have to try to hold this line for a month, in theory. We'll see if that happens. We have some supply flow in here, so that is good. But we do not want to be attacking and utilizing supplies at this point. We've got a beachhead. Now we need to fortify it. So we're going to work on that. We are seeing some attrition out over here, which is not surprising. If we go into here, we could motorize this, but that isn't going to actually help. The core problem here is lack of supplies, right? No doubt about that. But let's head on forward here. They're going to relentlessly attack us, and that's understood. In the meantime, we are building a fair amount of additional fortifications behind the front, but it's going to be very slow to construct the fortifications on the front because, of course, we can't construct while that area is being attacked. Now, this is going to max out over here. So I'm going to create ourselves another Coast Guard unit, because I want this one to specifically be an infantry reserve for us. So this Coast Guard unit is going to come out over this direction, and I want them to area defense here. I also want them to area defense up this way, so along the Black Sea. It'll be something kind of like this. Yes, this is going to require quite a lot of units. I also want them to do up over here. Now, this is probably unnecessary here, but we could certainly have them head up to the north up here, something like that. So that will, in theory, defend all of our coastal holdings between these 4. In theory. Okay. For the time being, we are holding relatively firm-ish here. But we need to continue this construction. So that's the exact goal right now. We're just looking to defend here. But they are attacking us extraordinarily relentlessly. We're now losing here, which isn't surprising. That is not surprising at all. But there's only so much attacking that they can do, right? And we're building up behind the lines here. So that's okay. These guys are going to shuffle around a little bit, and supplies are a bit grim out over here. But we can see a lot of their units have too low of organization to advance at this point. We might be able to eke out a stalemate here, and that is exactly what we want to see. A stalemate is a victory for us at this point. We do not want to try to press any attacks here. We're seeing quite a number of retreats over here. This province is expendable. We don't actually care about that province, so that's okay for now. We are continuing construction out over here, but it is fairly slow. Okay. Like I said, all we want here is a very, very, very basic amount of time. That's all we need. We just need to dig in and fortify. And that appears to be exactly what's happening here. We are seeing forces able to retreat and resupply and reorganize a little bit. So this is looking relatively good. So 2 November, 31 October, and 24 October is when we need to hold till, at which point we will have more supply flow. Not necessarily perfect supply flow. But we just need to hold here and establish this foothold. Once the foothold is established, then we're fine. We don't actually care about pushing in at this moment. We'll get there. For now, of course, I do want to continue to research down over here. We are completely done with the naval support researches, and so I'm going to grab the basic submarine snorkel. We're going to get going on that. And in the meantime, their attacks have significantly lessened. I believe we have achieved a stalemate here. They are currently not attacking at all, which means that our land forts are definitely building up, and things are getting worse for them. Significantly worse out on this front. That looks really, really good. They attacked very furiously at first, but now they're lacking the ability to continue with that. We have not exactly taken the advantage here, but it's definitely looking good. I'm very pleased with how that's going. We're going to be seeing additional construction of naval bases out here soon, but I don't think they can push in here realistically at this point. We're seeing quite a lot of construction of land ports, particularly here, and we're definitely interested in continuing that, no doubt about that. But we're now about 1 day away from completing another level of naval base here, and we just got that done. So at this point, we can see that we're now bringing in 11 supplies instead of 8 into this area. That's really, really good. I also want to bump this up to a level 5 railroad. We're going to get going on that, and we can see that this supply hub is now receiving some supplies. So we can see that there's 11 total supplies out over here. Yes, there's not enough supplies, but it's going kind of okay. Now I want to check in down over here. Where is this? How did that get damaged? Maybe a long-range bombing operation? Down over here. Maybe like launched from the Persian Gulf or something? I don't know how that happened, but that's okay. I am very content with our toehold over here for now. And for the moment, I'm going to select these guys. I want to delete their order here. So we're going to do that. They do not want to have an order. They just are on the defense. These guys are on the offense, but we don't want them to start attacking yet. We're still digging in and entrenching this area. So that's absolutely fine. We're going to continue our constructions over here. We're going to get 2 more naval bases done soon enough. These are mostly going to be backup naval bases. Reinforcements have arrived. So that's good. There's, I believe, a total of 4 infantry units that need to show up here. And that will increase the amount of supplies needed in this area. But we just finished up another naval base here, and we'll have another one shortly after that in just a couple of days. I don't think they can dislodge us from this area at this point. Beautiful. So we can now look and see that we are getting... Well, it's a little harder to see what our supply situation is here. It's not perfect, that's for sure. But we are getting supplies in. And that's great. I want to check in on our tank quantities. So we can see that we currently have, apparently, 8,000 tanks stockpiled. I don't know how real that is. I think there's still a big deficit of tanks out over here. We can check in on our reinforcements here. That's just manpower. Maybe we do have full tanks. That surprises me if that's the case. No, we do have full tanks out over here. Okay, noted. So for the time being, I'm still not interested in launching any attacks. Supply is still grim. The important thing here is we are fortifying this area, and it's going to be really, really hard for them to take control of it. I want to check the air war here. Okay, so we can see here we're right on the border of the of northeastern Iberia. So that is understood. We want our offensive line to basically just be northeastern Iberia at this point. So I'm going to get rid of that order. And northeastern Iberia is shaped like that. It's going to be a little awkward for us. I guess it's based on this state line. Most likely. Yes, it's based on that state line. Okay, so we can do it that way. So we're going to tell our tanks that we want them to offensive line. And that is going to go about like this, right? So we're just trying to take over this air zone. So that's going to be out over this way. And I think just going like that up to the sea. I'm not going to tell them to actually launch that attack yet, though, because I don't want them to launch that attack. Yes, this is correct. We want to take over this air zone. Okay, beautiful. Do we have an airbase down here? The answer is no, and we should maybe be thinking about constructing one if we can. We can't build an airbase in a foreign territory. Okay, so we have to capture this airbase. Gotcha. That's fine. I don't want to launch this attack just yet. That said, we do have full supplies here. We're not showing a supply issue, and we are showing that we're stronger. So I'm going to launch this attack, actually. I feel like it's a reasonable time to launch this. Let's go. So we're going to potentially win some of these areas. Note that we are not attacking with our infantry here. That is incredibly deliberate at this point. So we're just punching out with our tanks. Our infantry are going to remain on the defense. We need to get enough territory here to move our army groups in, and that's going to be spicy. You are supposed to be in here. Come on in. Fantastic. So the infantry are defending the line while the tanks are pushing the line, and we are definitely seeing some serious gains here. We can put a trade in here, armor division defense or motorized and mechanized defense. I'm going to take the armor defense. We do have motorized infantry in that. But for now, that's fine. Has this airbase fallen? Yes. Beautiful. So in Valencia here, this is only 200 wings that we can put in, or rather 200 planes. I'm going to put in MiG-9s, and I'm going to do 2 wings of that. I'm going to have 1 wing in air superiority over northern Iberia, and the other wing is going to be an interception over northern Iberia. There we go. We can also start to work on upgrading that airbase, and potentially building anti-air over here. We don't control the victory point. Okay, so we can't actually upgrade that airbase until we take Valencia. Gotcha. So that's reasonably fine. We can start pushing in over here, and we're definitely seeing supply flow going reasonably well over here. Beautiful. So Spain expended a lot of their force on attempting to push us out of this territory. We were able to consolidate this foothold here, and at this point, Spain is in serious trouble. They expended a lot of their power to try to kick us out early, which was the right move, but that failed. And now they're in serious, serious danger. So that's excellent. They can't really deal with our tanks. But we're going to hit a front line that's longer than we want with our number of troops here fairly soon. That's definitely true. Let's research this heavy ship hull, and let's also research the 1944 submarine hull. That'll be fine. And this is a medium tank template. That goes into, I believe, this army. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so we're just continuing to press forward here. And it's actually very, very ironic that Spain is the first European power to fall here. Reason being, this is Carpetania. Like, Spain is Carpetania. Carpetania is like right here. This is our origin point. So we're kind of coming full circle here, and I love it. It's great. So we're going to be conquering Carpetania very soon. We're very close to Madrid here. That said, we're having a bit of a hard time pushing towards Madrid over here. That's fine. We don't actually mind that. Valencia is under our control now, so we can immediately begin work on infrastructure here. We can build anti-air in this area, as well as radar, and that's going to be very useful for us. I also want to upgrade our airbase here. Now, we're still building all of this in the background, and I still want to build this. On the off chance that we get pushed back, we're going to have a very fortified fallback point. So that'll be good. But at this point, things are looking pretty okay for us. Supplies are going to get a little bit stretched up this way, though. Okay. So this supply hub, I'm going to motorize, but supplies are not going to be amazing. We don't have this railway connection under our control just yet. 3 days on that? Okay, so this supply hub will be very helpful for us. 2... It's not ticking forward very fast. 1 day, and now it's under our control. Okay, let's get that upgrading. I'm also interested in, well, let's take a quick peek up over this way. So there's almost certainly a supply hub there, right? Supplies are getting thin out this way. That is noted. But this supply hub, I'm going to motorize. That'll be fine. It now has a connection, and Valencia will produce a little bit of supplies for us as well. Supplies are going to be a little grim as we push forward, at least until Madrid falls. But once Madrid falls, I think things will be relatively okay. So that looks good. I don't think Spain can hold us at this point, even with just these forces, to be honest. This is a real infantry company, and that will go here. Okay, this is a fake infantry company. This is a real one, I believe. I believe we have 3 real ones right now. Yes. So that will go here. This is a real one. That goes here. This is a fake one. That goes here. Perfect. Okay, so we have a research slot available, and we are going to definitely grab the super heavy battleship hull. Let's get going on that. And we're just going to continue to press in over here. Supplies are going to be a little bit thin up this way, and given the lack of railway up here, that's really unsurprising. This armored division is ready to be moved in over here. Okay. The question is, at what point are we going to need additional units here? Well, honestly, I'm not sure we do. I feel like Spain falls to just our landing force. The question is, how close are they to capitulation right now? I mean, they're not very close. Madrid is going to be a thing, of course. But Madrid just fell. We're on our way into Madrid right now. They moved additional forces in, but they can't hold it. So we're going to take Madrid very, very shortly here. They moved additional forces in. We only have the 1 tank heading in. They actually managed to hold it there, barely. But not for long. And that's probably just due to our supply situation here. Now, I want to take a quick look at what things are doing as far as tank counts go. So we can see that we currently need 7 for reinforcement. It's not too bad. We seem to have mostly worked through our tank deficit. Now, Marines just finished, and that's fine. I'm going to grab Marines too. And we can also grab a doctrine here. This is our Special Forces doctrine. We're going to elevate the Marine Corps. I don't care about Mountaineers. I don't care about paratroopers. Marines are much more important to us for establishing these sorts of beachheads. Now, we haven't really pushed out over this way, but we're also not too concerned about pushing out this way. This will be reasonably fine. Madrid has not yet fallen. Our forces are kind of stretched thin at this point, and we might want to start thinking about bringing in additional units. So to that end, I'm going to select this army group of just infantry, and we are going to have them frontline here. Now, we do have this unit of infantry, and we're going to move them into that order once we have additional forces arriving. Now, this is probably going to overload our supply in this area. But that's okay. We're going to continue to press forward and continue to get additional supply in. We're still building up these naval bases out over here. We've got some victory points over here. I guess just the 1 victory point for now. But additional victory points will continue to fall here. They've really piled in the forces into Madrid. That's okay. Note that I'm not bringing in additional tank forces at this time. We are only bringing in infantry forces, and that is very, very deliberate. I'm concerned about supplies in the area, and that'll be fine. Armor specialist will be okay. Okay, so we're definitely continuing to push in here. We're kind of on the defensive a little bit right now, and that's understood. We need to bring in additional reinforcements, right? That's definitely a thing that we need to do. We're also... How concerned about supply in this area are we? Is something we should ask. Well, we're definitely working on railways. We're working on various supply hubs. It should be okay, but things are going to get increasingly grim up this way. This supply hub is going to be connected to us fairly soon, though. And if we can take Madrid, that's a very big deal. We can also consider building a rail line about like this. Bumping up this railway as well, I guess. And then constructing a supply hub here. Now, that'll take a while to construct, but that will help things up in this area. So we'll get going on that. That'll take some time. But supplies are a little bit grim. We're stretched a little thin. We're bringing reinforcements in. It's going to take some time for them to arrive, but they are on the way. Once they arrive, I'm going to sort these infantry into that force. We can see that our line is currently collapsing a little bit. Like, we're getting pushed back slightly. But it's not too bad. We're holding this position. In fact, we're kind of pushing forward right now. Momentum is swinging again. That's okay. We're fine with this. We have reinforcements on the way in. They will be arriving very shortly. Spain is in serious trouble here. No doubt about it. This carrier hull is going to be researched, and we are going to also be working on... Let's see, this is all basically done up here. We're in progress with these, but we can grab the improved submarine snorkel. We're nearly done researching our navy, so that's good. It is, of course, 1950, but that's fine. And technically, the World War hasn't broken out yet. It did take us a very long time to get going in this because we had to switch to fascism and we had that bug, but that's okay. So we're attacking Madrid right now, and we're successfully attacking Madrid. We'll see if we actually get it this time. But we're definitely pushing in up this way. And our infantry reinforcements are arriving. So I want to take a look at these guys here. So they've not fully arrived yet, but they are heading to the front. Okay. Supplies are going to be grim up this way, and we're going to have to continue to work on upgrades like this, for example. We'll get going on all of those. Looks good. Looks like we finished up our land forts in the background. Actually, no, we haven't. They're just down here. That's fine. We're still working on all of this, so that's completely okay. And we're just going to continue to take territory over here. Hang on. Is this a pocket? I believe it is. I believe these guys are now pocketed over in Barcelona. Fascinating. I want to select our tank units that are assigned over here and tell them offensive line out over here and get going on that. These guys are pocketed and we want to get them out of here. Absolutely. We would love Barcelona to fall. Madrid did not fall yet. That is reasonably expected. We have more infantry arriving at the front line. Of course, supplies are going to be spicy for us out here as we bring these in. That is absolutely understood. But if we can take Barcelona, that would be really solid. So we'll see what ends up happening here. We are definitely seeing them collapse and get pushed back. Stack wipes up over here. They can't retreat. So that's beautiful. Excellent. So that looks great. Absolutely phenomenal, in fact. I'm wondering how far away some of these other units are. The answer is they're a ways away, but they're on the way. So that looks good. This is going to stack wipe up here, and then it's just Barcelona. So I'm going to get all of these guys that are currently over here selected, with the exception of, like, these tanks. Get in here. Wipe them out. So Barcelona falls. That's fantastic. This is now under our control as soon as we arrive. There we go. And now we can redirect out over here. So that looks absolutely great. I'm going to remove this infantry front line here. So this is Army 2. Yes, that is correct. I'm going to remove that infantry front line, and these guys are going to get assigned in to this front line. Okay, so I want all of these units assigned to the front line. I'm not sure if all of them are or not. Let's just do that for now. I think not all of them were moving in. Now, this is going to leave just tanks in some positions on this front line. For now. Until we get additional infantry in, right? I want to check in. These guys are being transported. Yep, these guys are already here. Transported, and here. So we've only got 2 armies of infantry right now. That's okay. We may lose a little bit of ground as we do this. I'm reasonably content with that. So we're going to move these guys in here and here. Wait, what was that? No, you end up going here. Yes, that is correct. You end up going here. Perfect. So that's fine for the moment. And our tanks are still told to attack up in the north. We're also attacking in the center. We're not attacking in the south right now. But we do want to establish an attack in the north and in the center. There's only 17 divisions assigned to this, apparently. So I want to select these guys. I'd like to invert the selection. Is there a way to do that? Not really. Okay. Well, I guess that's fine for now. We can just leave this be. After all, we need to have these guys... We need to have some form of defenders up here, right? Now, tanks are not necessarily designed to be defenders. I want to be clear about that. But we do have additional infantry reporting in. That's looking good. We're going to be arriving fairly shortly here. We do have Catalonia here, and I would also like to get started on upgrading the naval base here. So we'll get that maxed out, and I do want to make sure that any railroads up here are maxed out as well. That looks good for now. We can continue to build anti-air in these regions that we've taken over, as well as radar stations, and we'll get that all going. Looks good. There are air bases out over here, but I think Madrid needs to fall before we can do anything with this one. It's already a level 10 air base anyway, so that looks absolutely fine. Hang on, Madrid just fell. Okay, so with the fall of Madrid, Spain is actually really close to capitulation here. Fantastic. Things have slowed down a little bit due to our supply situation. This isn't surprising necessarily. We're moving a lot of forces in, and the supplies are going to get worse. But we are working on our naval bases in these areas to help us supply these. So that'll be okay for now. And we have additional reinforcements arriving to hold these lines. So that's looking good. And our tanks are continuing to attack, particularly in the south right now. And that does make sense. We've got 14 divisions assigned here and only 3 divisions assigned here. So my question is, what tanks are not assigned to either of these attack orders? Smyrna. It's an interesting question, to be sure. It is a little awkward that it's broken out into 2 attack orders, for sure. I guess we'll just leave it for now and let this continue to press in. So we have this unassigned division. That goes here. Looks good. And Spain is continuing to crumble. We've got most of Carpetania under our control at this point, and that is, of course, fantastic. The armored division here is good to be sorted in here. These guys, I believe, are all real infantry divisions, and they are. So they go into our infantry, our real infantry division reserve. Looks great. Oh, wait, we lost an infantry division somewhere? Probably in transit, to be honest. So we'll just assign that guy over here. That's what the reserve is for, after all. So that's okay. And how are our supplies doing over here? I mean, they're not bad, surprisingly. They're okay. We're in a decent supply situation at this point. Of course, we only have 1 army attacking here, and that is this guy. We don't, I think, have enough command power to do something here. Oh, we need a preferred tactic. Got it. We want to probably break through. Okay. So that'll be okay. Looks good. Spain is really close to capitulating, and we can also lower the autonomy of a subject. That is going to be Finland, which is now annexed. Beautiful. So Finland is now under our control entirely. This is 3 units that get sorted in here. Looks good. And it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I expect Spain to fall. At this point, Spain has very little left, and we just need a nice concerted push. Keep in mind we're only working within our specified air region here. That's the term I'm looking for. However, we also have control over southern Iberia at this point. This is something our allies are doing, not something that we're doing, but we can definitely reach northwestern Iberia with our air as well. That'll be fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.